Hello, the Internet Tough Monkey here once again. Hope you're all well. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I have another consumer review for you today, and I'm looking at this. You're going to have to pardon my ignorance when it comes to pronunciation of Chinese product names, but how are we pronouncing this one? Is it Aochuan? Let's just go with the Smart X Pro Gimbal Stabilizer. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a gimbal does, it basically takes your phone or camera and mounts it onto a support which is being exerted to by forces of movement and rotates around the camera phone and creates a stabilizing effect so your camera and phone doesn't move around, and it creates wonderful cinematic tracking shots. And I've got 4 of them on display here for you now. This first one here is the my original one, which I bought myself 6 years ago. It's a Zhu, which is the same company that makes this rather funky light pod. It was for smartphones, just like the Smart X Pro we're looking at now. I bought it for my wedding actually, and we used it for a week, and I've not used it since at all. Then I had this Feiyutech, again for smartphones, stabilizer, which came via the Amazon Vine program, which is a much better built than the Zhu one. But again, once I finished reviewing it, didn't use it. Then we had this one, this rather funky beast, the DJI RS3 Mini, which is designed for digital cameras, DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, and that is a heck of a beast. It's a wonderful piece of kit, but again, once I finished testing it, didn't use it again. In fact, it's still got its protective screen on there. Wonderful bit of kit though, very expensive as well. But then we moved to this, which is the cheapest of the lot, but it's also the one I've enjoyed using the most. It has the most functions in my book, and I'll explain to you why. Okay, I've moved over to this camera so you can see what I'm doing over my shoulder. I've mounted the enclosed tripod mount onto the base of the gimbal, so we can mount it onto the table here, and you can see what it is that we can do with this. I'm using an iPhone 14 Pro, which I've got the screen record on at the moment, so we can see some of the functions up close. And you mount this onto this adjustable grip here. Make sure that the manufacturer's name that I can't pronounce is in the correct orientation, and then slide it into there roughly in the center. Now there is actually a bit of a recess just there, which makes sure that the buttons, the volume up and down and your power on buttons, aren't fouled in any way, which is good. Not all of these phone mounts do that. Quite often you find your volume going up and down, but this one is pretty good. You can also use your phone's mag case in that. There's enough room, it just fits in there. It's got to be a bit careful you got it adjusted right, but for this purpose I've got got no case on whatsoever. Now without the power on, it's a bit limp and floppy, so we'll turn it on. The button will come on for a few seconds, there we go, and then it'll orientate itself. You can operate this in 2 different ways, with or without the AI module here. Now this AI module, it's they trumpet it quite loudly in all of the advertising blurb for this one, and it attaches by this little magnet there. You can either put it there or underneath there as well. Now you don't need to use that for this to have AI functionality. You only need that if you want to use your own photographic apps rather than download the manufacturer's app. So if I take this off, it's not turned on whatsoever, and I go into the manufacturer's app. Here we go, this is the manufacturer's app. At the moment, obviously you can have it in front camera mode or in rear camera mode. We'll do it in rear camera mode for now. And even though that is completely detached and not turned on, we have still got AI functionality, which I'll show you at the moment. At the moment, there is no AI tracking, but if I'll just demonstrate that. See, the camera's not moving anywhere at all. If I want to turn the AI tracking on, I make this sort of a signal here. Sometimes it takes a moment for it to, here we go, right. So face tracking is now on. You see the camera is moving quite rapidly around, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's doing quite a good job. I think you'll agree with that. So we're in face tracking mode only at the moment. If we press this button here, we can cycle through face tracking, body tracking, object tracking, and other app tracking. Now, in this sort of scenario where the camera is quite close to where we're sitting, I would use face tracking. If you're going to be a bit further away from the camera, then I would go with body tracking, and that works really well. I've used that quite a bit. And then object tracking is if you want to have a stationary object and move around it, and the camera will keep a firm focus on it and smooth out any of the motions that you're creating from moving around. And again, that works really well. If you press this little button down here, you can get the gesture control options up here. So you've got a fist gesture, palm gesture, OK gesture, thumbs up gesture, L-shaped gesture. There's a number of things you can do. Now, for the gesture control to work, you need to make sure that the hand is yellowed. There's a yellow ring around it. If it's on white, it won't track your gesture, but if it's on yellow, the options will come up first, so you confirm that. It will now be tracking your gestures. So I can prove that by, at the moment we're in landscape mode. If I want to go into portrait mode, I do this function, and it should, there you go into portrait mode. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay, and some of the gestures work better than the others, but they all do work in this format anyway. So again, if I want to go back to landscape, back with the thumbs up gestures, and it's still tracking me, and just to prove it as well, so go back to the portrait mode, there we go, and tracking also works pretty well on there, I think you'll agree. So again, let's go back to landscape mode, so there we go. It works pretty slick, I think that does. What else have we got? If you want to turn off the tracking functionality, you do this OK symbol like that, so give it a moment. Where is it? There it is. There we go. So tracking is now turned off. So if I move around, there you go, the camera isn't following me around the room. But if I want to turn it back on again, make sure you can see me, there we go, and it's tracking me. I think that works really, really well. If I want to go between, currently it's in photo mode, if I want to go into video mode, one way or another, there you go. So it's now in video mode. So if I want to go back to photo mode, there we go. So it's a fist. Like I say, sometimes when you first do a gesture, sometimes it's a little bit slow to do it, but generally it works all the time. Okay, now what else? Now, like I say, you only need this though if you don't want to use that particular app. So if I come out of this app and go into Apple's own camera app, come back to the rear camera. See, at the moment, no matter what I do, there's no gestures working. That's because the AI is only operative in the previous form in the app, so it's using the camera on the phone to pick up your gestures. In any other app, it won't work. You need to use this, so you need to turn this on. Sometimes this doesn't turn on first time. You need to get this blue light. There you go. Blue light is on. So this attaches either there or underneath there. Doesn't matter where it is. And then that is now in AI mode. Now, sometimes you have to wake it up. When you first turn it on, it won't pick up your first few gestures. So that M button on the top there, if you click that once, it'll go into green mode. Now, if you click it back off into blue non-tracking mode, it will still now pick up your gestures. So at the moment, it's in non-tracking mode. But if I was to go like this, it's gone green and it's now in tracking mode. And it's using the Apple phone app rather than the manufacturer's app. So if you prefer using this one, brilliant. And you've now got AI gestures in this camera app. However, I've found that they don't always work all the time. So let's try and go from photo to video, see if that one works. That one's not having it. It doesn't. I've found that the fist one, I don't think it has ever actually worked in this app using this AI module. Let's go to the thumbs up, see if it go into, there we go. So that one does work. That one's okay with the AI module. Will it go back? Let's have a go. Come on, go back. There you go. Sometimes it's just a little bit clunky. So because of that, I found that I prefer using the manufacturer's app and just disregarding this entirely. So I turn this off. Get that to turn off. So it's going to go all floppy. There we go. Turn that off. It's now wondering what the heck's going on. So let's come out of that, go back into the other app. And I find this works better for lots of reasons, mainly because you can set up this app to do what you want. For example, you've got all these options down here, plenty of options to choose from. So you can put timers on, you've got the camera settings here, so you can lock face tracking, you can supply your own Bluetooth microphone, put selfie mirror mode on. We've got the gimbal settings here, so there's the firmware upgrade, parameter setting. Now this is one of the most important ones. This adjusts the speed of which the tracking happens. So if you want a slow, steady, smooth movement, you can slow things down or you can speed things up, and that applies to absolutely everything. So you've got the tilt axis, the pan axis, the joystick speed, so how quickly it operates along that joystick there. You can, and this is brilliant. This is brilliant. by default, it has the joystick in the vertical and horizontal operating so that when you press up, it goes up, and when you press down, it goes down. Go left, it goes left. As most people like. However, some of us, we don't have our brains wired that way. If you're some gamers, for example, it's a bit like using a joystick. When you pull the joystick back, a plane goes up. When you push it forward, it goes down, and that's how my brains work. So out of the box, I can't operate this. Brilliantly, it's got reverse mode, so you can choose to reverse the vertical and the horizontal planes, and that's wonderful. Thank you very much, manufacturer, for doing that. And then you get to fine-tune all the speeds associated with it. It's really good what you can do with this. You can be as creative as you want and get it as fast as you want or slow as you want. I'm very happy with those. You could choose to have the grids on, off, all kinds of things on there. You can have the anti-shake on or off, expert mode, so you get a load more options down the bottom. And there's just plenty of little fine tunes that you can do on this. And this is why I prefer to use this app rather than the Apple standard app. And like I say, the AI gestures work better on that than they do on this. But in here, you've got video resolution of 4K, 1080 or 720. You've got frames per second of 24, 30 or 60. And then the codec that you can use, H.264, H.265. We've got this, which is some filters should you wish to want to put some face smoothing or white balance or things like that. They're available there, so it's a beauty filter. That is not particularly interested in that myself, but some people might do. That just takes you back to the home screen, the other one up there. And then you've got a whole raft of options down here as to what you want to use. So there's some this is the mirror mode. There's some suggestions on filming techniques that you can use. Find one that you like and press use there. You've got the Inception mode, which it's a bit of a quirky thing, a bit like the Christopher Nolan film, where if you press it and it'll start recording, and it'll do the Inception style in the famous film where the camera will just rotate around quite smoothly. It's quite a funky thing, and I'm sure you'll use it once and never again. Then you've got this Hitchcock function here where you can choose a start zoom point and a end zoom point, and it'll move between it in a set amount of time that you put on this option. Then you've got this panoramic mode where you can set up the number of shots that you want it to take, and it'll step around and piece together a panoramic photograph for you. You've got your standard photo mode, standard video mode, slow motion, time lapse. Again, set up the parameters of the time lapse. Then you've got the trajectory delay. You can have some fun with some of these on here, and the long exposures. You can have a really slow tracking shot with a long exposure, so you can have some really good fun with this. Well, I suppose I may as well do my closeout on here, hadn't I? What do I think of the Smart X Pro Stabilising Gimbal? I think it's fantastic. Genuinely, I've loved using this product for this last week and a half or so. Now, as I've said, I've already got 3 gimbals, which were great when I first got them, but never used them again. They're quite complicated things to really get your head around, but this one, I've had so much fun with this, and so much creativity is going on, because it's not just a stabilising gimbal, it's all the other stuff that comes around it. The AI tracking for a one-man band like me, as a I hate using the word content creator, but I am. I can do all the things I want to on my own. I don't need anybody else around me. For what I want. This is working really, really well, so I've been really, really impressed with this. And for the money, it's, at the moment I'm looking at it on Amazon, it's £120 RRP. It's Prime Day at the moment, Prime Day today and tomorrow. So by the time this goes out, it will probably be finished. But it's £95 on Prime Day deal, so it's likely to come down at some point in the future. But that is cracking value. That's a fraction of the cost of those ones over there. That is really, really good value. Now, although it's not absolutely perfect, there's a few clunkiness with the AI. Sometimes the gestures don't quite pick up, but generally it works really, really well. I don't particularly see the point of that, because yes, it's great to use your own app. In this case, the iPhone's built-in app, but there's more functionality on the manufacturer's app. So I use the AI built into the camera that's built into the phone with the app's own additional functionality, and I think that's better. The light that's built into this it's a bit poor. On the back end of it, which is on the other side of it to what I'm looking at the moment, it works, it's okay, but to be honest, I'd rather use some kind of proper light. I've got lots of them to choose from in my case, so that's probably not something I'm over the moon about, but it's nice to have if you've got nothing else. But other than those little gripes, I think it's fantastic value. I genuinely think it's worth a 5-star review, and I don't give 5-star reviews out very often. I did notice earlier on, I started filming this, and I am someone who waves my hands around a lot, and I've got to be careful with this, because if I wave my hand around too much, it thinks I'm stopping. Literally, as I said that, I waved my hand around and it stopped recording. See, I've got to be careful with my my AI gestures. I inadvertently stop this recording or start it recording quite often. But other than that, I think this is really good. I genuinely do like this product. It's really good. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight. It's going to be great when I'm going over to America in a couple of months' time, and I'm going to take this with me because it folds away really compactly, and it's lightweight as well. It's got all the functionality of those, plus the AI stuff on top of it. I think I'm going to have so much fun with this. I'm going to get creative with this, and yeah, I've got no hesitation in awarding this a 5-star review. And I've forgotten, it's got the onboard charging as well. My phone, when I started doing this review, it was already down at 20%, but you've got the ability to draw power from the inbuilt battery to charge up your phone as you're going along. So that's even better. Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, I really do like it. You can tell from I'm genuinely buzzing about this product, and that's not always the case with me. I think this is a really good product. So yeah, if you're after a economically priced stabilizing gimbal, I can't recommend this highly enough. It's really good. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, then do remember to give me a like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next video. Take it easy.